Welcome back. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. You're joining us on Newsx. Our big focus this hour is on the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly elections. It's a historic day for J&K as the Union Territory is voting in the first of 3 phases of elections. The visuals coming in this morning are very, very encouraging. Long lines have been witnessed in Doda, Pulwama, Kulgam, Anantnag as well as Kishtwar as the people of Jammu and Kashmir are exercising their right with enthusiasm. Another early observation that we've made here is that the voters are not talking about return of 370 but focusing on issues like unemployment, price rise and dissatisfaction in governance as they should be. Let's quickly go across and get you some details coming in regarding, of course, the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly polls, the first phase of the Assembly election. So what is the voter turnout so far looking like? Well, let's quickly show you what, of course, the voter turnout numbers so far are throwing up. So Pulwama till 9:30 a.m. has recorded a 9.18% voter turnout. These are, of course, the details coming in. Also, if we talk about Anantnag, in Anantnag, the voter turnout till 9:30 a.m. is 10.26%. So 10.26% is the voter turnout in Anantnag. Meanwhile, in Kulgam, till 9:30 a.m., the voter turnout has been recorded at 10.77%. So steady trickle of voters so far this morning being reported from various constituencies. In fact, Doda, it stands at 12.90% voter turnout till 9:30 a.m. If we talk about Ramban, well, the Ramban sector has seen 11.91% voter turnout till 9:30 a.m. Also talking about Shopia now, well, Shopia has seen a 11.44% voter turnout till 9:30 a.m. These are, of course, the first voting percentages which have been declared by the Jammu Kashmir Election Commission. Also, if we talk about Kishtwar, Kishtwar has seen a very healthy 14.83% voter turnout till 9:30 a.m. So these, of course, are some of the voting percentages numbers coming out. Let's quickly also now rope in one of my colleagues who's joining us live on the broadcast. With us at this point is Ashik Mir. He's joining us, of course, from the Duru constituency, which is in Anantnag. Ashik, if we talk about the Duru constituency, well, what are the numbers there looking like so far this morning? What are the voter issues which people are telling you so far, Ashik? What is the ground report coming in from this particular constituency in Jammu and Kashmir?
बिल्कुल उदय, हम इस समय साउथ कश्मीर के सड़कें आपको दिखा रहे हैं और इन सड़कों पर किस तरह से लोग जो है देख रहे हैं आप कि किस तरह से बढ़ चढ़कर वोटिंग में हिस्सा डालने के लिए आए हैं। क्योंकि अगर हम साउथ कश्मीर के इन सड़कों की बात करें, आज से पहले जो है यहाँ पर पत्थरबाजी विटनेस करते थे, लेकिन आज आप देख सकते हैं कि वोटर्स में किस तरह से उत्साह है। आज लोग जो है डेवलपमेंट के लिए वोट डाल रहे हैं। कुछ लोगों से हमने बात की जिनका कहना था कि बेसिक फैसिलिटीज की वजह से जो है वो आज इन इलेक्शंस में हिस्सा ले रहे हैं। और सबसे बड़ी बात यहाँ पर यह है कि आज 370 को छोड़कर लोग बात कर रहे हैं और यहाँ पर डेवलपमेंट, रोजगार, बेरोजगारी का जो खात्मा है उसको खत्म करने के लिए है जो आज सड़कों पर लोग निकल रहे हैं। फिलहाल कुछ लोगों से हम बात करने की कोशिश करेंगे जो यहाँ पर सुबह से आए हैं और सुबह 7 बजे से यहाँ पर वोटिंग का सिलसिला जारी है। लगभग 12% वोट जो है यहाँ पर पड़े हैं और महिलाएं, यंग, बुजुर्ग लोग जो है इस वक्त इन पोलिंग स्टेशंस का रुख साउथ कश्मीर में करें। आप मुझे बताइए क्या क्या इश्यूज है, अगर हम
ताकि वो ब्लैक बच जाए, फिर यहाँ भी आ गया।
बिल्कुल, तो इश्यूज क्या क्या, अगर इस इशू की बात करो तो क्या क्या इश्यूज है? बिल्कुल, लोग जो है यहाँ पर डेवलपमेंट चाहते हैं, लोग बेरोजगारी कम जो है यहाँ पर लोगों को रोजगार नहीं मिल रहा है, उसके लिए आज जो है सड़कों पर आप देख सकते हैं ये चहल पहल पहले नहीं होती थी, बल्कि माहौल कुछ अलग ही होता था, लेकिन आज जो है आप अलग ही रौनक देख रहे हैं। आप मुझे बताइए आपके इलाके में क्या क्या मसाइल है जिसको लेकर आज आप 10 सालों के बाद वोट डाल रहे हैं? क्या क्या है बेसिक फैसिलिटीज को लेकर जो आज सड़कों पर है?
हाँ, मैं इस महले का रहने वाला, इसका नाम है जाफरपुर। यहाँ हमारे पास आते थे एनसी के वो एक्स-एमएलसी डॉक्टर बशीर भी थी, उसने कुछ बकाया नहीं रखा। सड़कें भी दे दी, पावर भी दे दी, पानी भी दे दी, किसी चीज की कमी नहीं है हमारे महल में।
ठीक,
हम इसीलिए इसके हक में वोट डालते हैं आज।
तो ज्यादातर इन इलाकों में, साउथ कश्मीर के इलाकों में बॉयकॉट का असर रहता था, लेकिन आज ज्यादा लोग निकले हैं वोट।
आज बॉयकॉट की बात ही नहीं है, क्योंकि डॉक्टर बशीर बीवी ने हर एक फैसिलिटी हम तक पहुंचाई है इस महल में। अगर आप सड़क देखेंगे मैकडम राइज है, अगर पानी देखते कि 2 लाइन चलते हैं वाटर सप्लाई के, अगर बिजली देखते हैं तो शुमार ही नहीं होते, 2 ट्रांसफार्मर लगे हुए, ये उनकी क़यादत से ही है।
बिल्कुल, अलग अलग लोगों के अलग अलग पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू है, जिस हिसाब से हम अलग अलग लोगों से बात कर रहे हैं। फिलहाल ये तस्वीरें जहाँ पर आज से पहले की, अगर हम जब इलेक्शन होते थे तो लोगों की युवा जो है वो स्कूल कैंटीन में इन्वॉल्व करते थे, लेकिन आज वही युवा जो है आपको वोटिंग जो है में हिस्सा लेने के लिए काफी उत्साहित है। और ये वो तस्वीरें हैं, महिलाएं अलग से और जो तादाद है वो इन पोलिंग स्टेशन का रुख करते हैं। आपसे बात करना चाहूंगा, तो आप अच्छा बताइए क्या क्या इश्यूज है यहाँ पर आपके पास?
बहुत सारे इश्यूज,
जैसे
रोड की फैसिलिटी नहीं, ट्रांसपोर्ट बहुत ही कम, जैसे कि हॉस्पिटल है उसमें फैसिलिटी बिल्कुल, स्कूल है उसमें फैसिलिटी नहीं, पढ़े लिखे बच्चे बेकार हैं, ये आधे रेत का काम कर रहे हैं, आधे मजदूरी का काम कर रहे हैं। तो सबसे बड़ी बात है कि अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट है यहाँ पे, जो हमें खत्म करना है।
बिल्कुल,
तो उस वजह से हम निकले।
तो पहले जो है इन इलाकों में ज्यादा वोट नहीं पड़ते थे, लेकिन लोकसभा के इलेक्शन जब हुए तो साउथ कश्मीर के इलाके जो काफी, अगर हम कह सकते हैं, डिस्टर्ब रहते थे, लेकिन आज जो है हालात बदले हुए हैं।
जी सर, हालत बिल्कुल बदल गया है। आज सबको समझ आ गया है कि हमें क्या करना है, क्या अपना फैसला अपने हाथों से, अपना तकदीर अपने हाथों से बनाना है। बिल्कुल, तो यही रीजन है कि लड़के आप सब देख ही रहे कि नौजवान कितने बार निकले, बिल्कुल, तो यही यूथ पत्थर मारा था, अब इनको समझ आया कि पत्थर नहीं मार, हमें आगे बढ़े।
वोट की अहमियत आज यहाँ पर युवाओं को पता चल गया। आप एक युवा है, आपसे जानने की कोशिश करूंगा। आप देख सकते हैं युवा है, इनमें से कई सारे ऐसे भी हैं जो फर्स्ट टाइम। साउथ कश्मीर के इलाकों में ऐसी भीड़ आपको कहीं नजर नहीं आएगी जो भीड़ आप इस वक्त इन पोलिंग स्टेशन पर देखेंगे। आप बताइए, आप क्या इश्यूज है यहाँ पर बेसिकली, जिसके लिए आज आप भारी तादाद में साउथ कश्मीर में ऐसे वोट डालते हैं?
देखिए, हमारे गाँव की अगर बात करें तो यहाँ पर कुछ फैसिलिटीज है, कुछ अभी बाकी है। ठीक, तो अभी तक जो नुमाइंदे हमने, जो कैंडिडेट्स हमने पिछली बार चाहे 4 बार 5 बार चुने थे, तो हमारे गांव में हमें यही पता चलता है कि अभी तक जो फैसिलिटीज थी या एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेट करनी थी, या अभी हॉस्पिटल है इसमें जो फैसिलिटीज थी उनकी जो किल्लत हमें यहाँ पर महसूस हो रही थी, अभी तक वो पूरी नहीं हुई है। तो और नई बात यह है कि 10 साल के बाद जो इलेक्शंस हो रहे हैं तो लोगों में पूरा जोश है। और
okay, so those are some important voices there coming in from Duru, but I also want to bring in Ajay Jandial at this point from the Islamia High School, Bijbehara, for some more voices on ground. Ajay, you know, so far, of course, polling percentages have been released till 9:30 a.m. Looking good. Kishtwar, of course, doing better than the other constituencies, but so far, good trickle of voters has been reported from various seats in J&K that are polling today. Let's speak to some voters there on ground in Bijbehara, where you are, Ajay. What are the voices they are telling you?
Before Uday, I will go to the voters. I'll tell you about polling percentage which just I have received, and highest polling percentage is recorded in the Inderwal area of Kishtwar, where 16.01% polling is recorded in 2 hours till 9 in the morning. And if you talk about the Kashmir, and even in Kashmir, the polling percentage in last 2 hours is not a bad thing, and that shows that if in 2 hours it is more than 10%, that means that in the coming time it is going to cross the previous record as well, which was 55%. So it is expected that that number of polling here at this time once again will make a new record. And I will ask my camera person to show you the visuals as well. Just see number of voters, they are standing here, they are coming, and definitely they are waiting for their number so that they can cast their vote. And biggest challenge for the security authorities is to ensure that a peaceful polling will take place. BSF, Jammu Kashmir Police, they are here on the polling station since yesterday. Just imagine that whole of the night these security personnel were here and they were ensuring that, that there'll be no disruption in the polling over here. Let's speak to some of the people over here. ये बताइए, वोट डालने आए हैं 10 सालों के बाद, 10 सालों के बाद वोट डाल रहे हैं, आप भी बोलिए, युवा हैं, क्या मसले हैं मतलब आपके इलाके के?
बताइए दीजिए।
आप वोट डालने आए हैं, क्या लगता है मसले क्या हैं? So Uday, they are waiting for their number so that they can cast their vote. We'll speak to some other people over here. Ma'am, आप वोट डालने आए हैं?
नहीं, मैं नहीं वोट।
So number of people, those who are basically here, Uday, they are continuously coming and they are coming to cast their vote. वोट डालने आए हैं?
हाँ सर।
अच्छा, डाल दिया, अभी डालना है?
हाँ डाल दिया मैंने।
क्या लगता है 10 सालों के बाद जो वोटिंग हो रही है उसके बाद मैं देख रहा हूँ लोग काफी तादाद में निकल रहे हैं, लोग चाहते हैं कि वो ज्यादा से ज्यादा अच्छा कैंडिडेट चुन
होता है, लेकिन हमें इस वजह से मतलब वोट डाला, ना हमें कोई मतलब चाहिए इनसे, ना हमें कोई नौकरी चाहिए इनसे। हमारा जो मतलब एक ही है, जो यहाँ पर हालात हो रहे हैं वो बस ठीक होने चाहिए, वो हमारे लिए काफ़ी है। हमें
हालात बेहतर चाहिए,
हालात बेहतर चाहिए और कुछ नहीं। बाकी हमसे कोई मतलब से वोट नहीं डाला हमने, ना हमें नौकरी चाहिए ना पैसा चाहिए, कुछ भी नहीं, बस हालात ठीक हो रहे चाहिए बस।
हालात ठीक रहेंगे तो सब चीजें बेहतर रहेंगी। These are the words from youngsters, those who are coming to cast their vote. We'll try to speak to some other people as well, that what they have to say. Those who are coming to this area of Bijbihara to cast their vote, they basically have different perception. They are saying that several in the morning when we spoke to the people, they say that we want peace, we want jobs over here, because in the last 10 years there was no government in the Jammu and Kashmir as far as the assembly is concerned, and that's why they were not able to basically contact to the people. So that's why they are saying that when there will be a representative over here, local representative, they'll be able to basically get in touch with them and they can definitely ensure that their work are done. Now I will try to show you the visuals of the security personnel, those who have arrived, because Mehbooba Mufti, Iltiza Mufti, who's a candidate, they have to come here to cast their vote. So that's why adequate security measures are put in place. Frisking of every candidate is taking place over here. Former Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti basically was MLA from here, Mufti Muhammad Saeed. He was, he won from this constituency, and now it's turned off the Iltiza Mufti. You could see that everything has to be properly frisked. They are using the metal detector, explosive detector, so that if anything is there that can be destroyed. But already authorities have ensured that everything will remain peaceful, and that's why they are over here. And Iltiza Mufti, who's contesting election, from this Bijbihara constituency, when we spoke to her, she says that my priority would be definitely to ensure that issues of the locals, issues of the people that has to be addressed. Definitely the 370 is still issue. That is what she has said. But different parties have different, perspective on as far as this election is concerned, because it is taking place after 10 years. Those who are Kashmir-based party, those who believe that they can get votes on the name of the 370, they are saying this. And if you talk about the BJP, they are saying that 370 is gone, so nothing is going to happen that will not return over here. As far as the Congress is concerned, Congress is having a ally with the National Conference here. They are saying that 370, it's okay with the 370 if it is not here, because they know that if they will speak much about the 370, they will have to face the consequences in Haryana elections and other part of the country. So that's why they say that if jobs and land rights of the people can be scared, that need to be that step need to be taken.
Absolutely, Ajay Jandial and Ashik Mir, appreciate both of you joining us with those ground reports. Dharinder Tyal, spokesperson of the BJP, is also joining us live now. Sheikh Oais, spokesperson of the National Conference, joins us as well. Major General P.K. Sehgal, defense expert, is live with us. Raja Munib, senior journalist, is joining us live. Sujata Paul, spokesperson of the Congress, is also with us on the broadcast. Raja Munib, let me begin with you first. According to you, which are emerging to be the biggest issues for the people of Jammu and Kashmir this time around as they cast their franchise?
Look, Jammu and Kashmir, if you look at the people and the way they are voting, they're coming out in good numbers, what we are seeing till now. I think they have a multitude of issues. The number one issue for Jammu and Kashmir and people for Jammu and Kashmir is that it's about the governance issues. It's about, it's about the daily Bijli Sadak Pani. That is going to be the number one issue which is going to stay in Kashmir. And then, of course, we have seen the regional parties talking about, security, demographic changes or Article 370. And that is an issue which will be there in the back of the voters' mind as well. But primarily, it is going to be about Bijli, Sadak and Pani, because that's what the voting is all about. And people of Jammu and Kashmir do understand that at the end of the day, it is about the local governance which they are voting for. And that is what they have been bereft of for last 10 years. And this is what they are looking for.
Do you also believe, Major General Sehgal, that security is a big issue that over what people are voting this time around? Also, what is the reason, according to you, the factor that you attribute the high voter turnout that was seen earlier in the year in the Lok Sabha elections to, Major General Sehgal, and also hopefully the high voter turnout that we will see by the end of today already? The morning numbers are very, very healthy.
Absolutely and totally. There's a huge amount of enthusiasm. This is the first time that the Election Commission and the Government of India has ensured an absolute total level playing field. There are 219 candidates. In addition to the mainstream political parties, there are several other political parties that are participating this time. 90 independents is something that is unheard of. And the voter enthusiasm is absolutely outstanding. There are several firsts that have taken place. First time after 2014 election being held. First time after abrogation of Article 370 and 35A. First time Jammu Kashmir is voting as a union territory. First time there will be no boycott call by any jihadi elements. First time that Jamaat-e-Islami is fighting the election as either in support of Rashid Engineer or by themselves. First time ever, the importance of what is happening in Jammu and Kashmir would reverberate not only within India but across the globe. The world media is looking at this election with very absolute and total keenness. Pakistan is trying their very best to disturb the election process, but the security forces have put in such a strong security grid and intelligence grid that there is absolutely no question whatsoever of any mischief taking place during the election. We have ensured the people realize that there is absolute safety and security in place. Lots of facilities have been created for them, and the enthusiasm of theirs is to be seen, to be believed. The long lines, etc., in the past, except for the 3 times when the BJP was in power, actually there was no free and fair and transparent election of the variety that is taking place now. The first time that was free, fair and transparent election was during Atal Bihari Vajpayee's time, second during 2014, third time during the parliamentary election, and now what is happening is something the world is beginning to admire. It's a dance of democracy, which will send very, very strong signals across the globe on the strength of the Indian democracy and what the Indians believe in. I'm very certain the people of Jammu and Kashmir will rise to the occasion and put in place good governance. And I personally feel that political parties who've been rulers for a very long time, like for example, Mehbooba Mufti categorically and clearly feels that her party would stand decimated in South Kashmir, which was her battleground, primarily because Jamaat-e-Islami is no longer supporting them. That was their main support base. They're supporting Rashid Engineer or fighting as independents, and a whole lot of independents that have come up. There will be a division of votes. As far as Kashmir region is concerned, election is taking place in 4 districts which were terror-prone sometimes back: Shopian, Kulgam, Pulwama, and Anantnag. And in Jammu and Kashmir, Kishtwar, Doda, and Ramban. In Kishtwar and Doda also in the last week there have been more than 3 encounters in this area. So security is of a huge concern in addition to berozgari as well as the rest of the issues that the people are talking about. But unemployment is an area that has to be taken note of by the government, and I'm very certain that the government will do everything under the sun that is possible.
Okay, point taken, Major General Sehgal. Omar Abdullah, former Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, is speaking with the media currently. Let's go across.
आज 6 बजे से ही लोग निकले थे, 10 साल के बाद असेंबली कैसे देख रहे हैं सर?
नहीं, बड़ी अच्छी बात है। हम तो चाहते हैं कि जो लोग इलेक्शन में हिस्सा लें। नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस एक कार्डर बेस्ड पार्टी है, हर जगह हमारे लोग हैं और जितने वोट पड़ेंगे उतना अच्छा है, जमहूरियत के लिए अच्छा है, नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस के लिए अच्छा है। फ़िलहाल जो मैंने अपने साथियों से मौके पे बात की, भारी तादाद में नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस को वोट पड़ रहे हैं हर इलाके से, और हम कामयाबी की उम्मीद लगाए बैठे हैं।
हमने देखा कि बुजुर्ग बूढ़े छोटे सब निकल रहे हैं सर।
नहीं, अच्छी बात है। नहीं, अब 10 साल से हम इस दिन का इंतज़ार करते आए। हमें तो समझ में नहीं आता कि 18 के बाद हमें इतनी देर जमहूरियत से अलग क्यों रखा गया, हमारा हक हमसे छीना क्यों गया। मुद्दे इस इलेक्शन में बहुत हैं। हमने कोशिश की कि मुद्दों के हवाले से हम लोगों से बात करें और उन्हें बताएं कि अगर 5 साल के लिए उन्होंने हमें अपनी कीमती वोटों से नवाजा तो हम उनके लिए क्या करेंगे। और अब 8 अक्टूबर तक इंतज़ार करेंगे, लेकिन अभी तक जो रिपोर्टें आ रही हैं अच्छी आ रही हैं।
सर जो अभी नहीं निकले उनके लिए मैसेज
कि निकलें, बाहर आएँ, अपने वोट का इस्तेमाल करें, अपने उम्मीदवार को चुनें और सोच समझ के अपने वोट का इस्तेमाल करें। आज तो कम से कम चलो शुक्र है, एक इंटरव्यू के हवाले से इंजीनियर रशीद साहब ने अपने ऊपर पर्दा हटा दिया है। उसने खुद कहा है कि उसके दरवाजे किसी के लिए भी खुले हैं। मतलब ये कि कल को अगर ज़रूरत पड़ेगी तो वो बीजेपी की मदद करेगा। इंजीनियर रशीद साहब अब जमात के साथ इलेक्शन मिल के लड़ रहे हैं, तो जाहिर सी बात है अगर इंजीनियर रशीद साहब के दरवाजे बीजेपी के लिए खुले हैं तो जमात के भी दरवाजे बीजेपी के लिए खुले हैं। ये अपने आप में एक चिंता है और लोगों को इस पे सोच के अपना वोट इस्तेमाल करना चाहिए।
वोटिंग 9:30 तक हुई थी।
अभी तो शुरू है ना, अब शाम तक देखते हैं। मुझे लगता है अच्छा खासा जो है नंबर होगा वोटरों का।
थैंक यू सर।
Yeah, so that was, of course, Omar Abdullah of the National Conference reacting there. Your leader, Sheikh OS, is pretty confident, of course, and speaking about the healthy turnout, the high voter turnout, of course, so far is a good sign that has been reported this morning, and we do hope that the numbers, of course, will continue to rise through the day. But Sheikh OS, as far as now, the independents in the fray are concerned, and also players like Engineer Rashid's party, and others, do you believe that they could possibly damage you and end up splitting the votes in Kashmir? How wary are you of their impact on the electorate this time around, or are you confident in your candidates' individual prospects?
I would come on this like, people out here in Jammu and Kashmir are very smart, like, they know where those proxies are coming. Like, I would want to tell you which is the fact, like, if you see in Jammu, you would not see you would not be able to see independent candidates filing from Jammu. Like, they know, who's behind all this game out there in the ground. And, they are much aware, like...
Okay. OS, are you there with us? Okay, I think we've lost him. Sujata Paul, why don't I draw you in here as well? Sujata Paul, now we are of course seeing Omar Abdullah express confidence in his camp, but the voter turnout, the high numbers this morning, now the BJP's representatives are saying that is because of their policy, because they have created this Naya Jammu and Kashmir, that people now feel safe and enthusiastic to go and cast their franchise, which is why we are seeing good numbers today morning, and we saw high numbers in the Lok Sabha elections. Do you believe that's a fair claim by the BJP? And of course, as far as Sujata Paul, your alliance with the NC is concerned, is it smoothly working on ground as well? Are you headed to a majority, or do you believe that possibly a hung assembly is in the offing for J&K?
What the BJP says is clearly part of their Jumla strategy, and that is exactly what they've been doing all these years. And people of Jammu and Kashmir are basically waiting for their own government for the last 10 years. And the BJP obviously has been saying a lot of things, but on ground, what is the situation? The fact is that people have had to stay indoors for such a long time. People have not had their own government. People have not been able to come out in the open, express what they need. And the manner in which the BJP has not fielded any candidates in the valley clearly shows that they know that it's not working for them. The fact is that the National Conference and Congress alliance is very, very strong. And people now want their own government, their own issues to be addressed by their own people. It's not about one single man who will decide everything. And of course, I just heard somebody say that, oh, things are so good over there. Now there is no problem happening and Pakistan is creating a problem. I was surprised because Pakistan is a small country which should not even be spoken about in this election. But it's not coming from the BJP spokesperson, but an independent analyst. I'm surprised about that. People of Jammu and Kashmir need their own government, and that is why they are coming out in large numbers. BJP should explain why is it that the Prime Minister and Mr. Amit Shah, who are their only and chief campaigners, have not been able to go into the valley to campaign. And why is it that there are so many independents who have been fielded? And rightfully somebody mentioned in the Kashmir valley, in Kashmir. Why? Because this is their strategy of cutting votes.
So you are alleging that the independents and Engineer Rashid and also the Apni Party and Ghulam Nabi Azad candidates are proxies of the BJP?
Ghulam Nabi Azad ji's party is not really going to be able to do anything. We all know that. Engineer Rashid was not allowed bail for his own election during Lok Sabha. However, now he's been allowed to campaign. He's got bail. The reason is very clear, and this has always been the BJP strategy. They always put up a whole lot of independents across the country wherever they are weak. So this is obvious that they are in cahoots with Engineer Rashid. And anybody who stands with BJP right now is clearly on Engineer Rashid's side, Jamaat's side, and these are the people who are weakening democracy in Jammu Kashmir. So the Prime Minister has a lot to answer. Why didn't he go there to campaign? He goes everywhere, doesn't he?
He was in Doda a few days ago.
Yeah, that is the only time he went there, no? But that is also when we made a big noise about it. The fact is he has not campaigned in Kashmir. He would have been there the first day because they have been saying that it is because of them that peace has returned to Jammu Kashmir.
Okay, that's a bit unfair. That's a bit unfair because there are 2 more phases left. But I'll get Darinder Tyal of the BJP to quickly respond to you. Darinder Tyal of the BJP, you heard what Sujata Paul had to say. You also heard what Sheikh Oais and some of the others had to say earlier. They are claiming that these independents and other parties in Kashmir are proxies of your party, only put up to split the opposition vote. Your response, your reaction, and also what you make of the healthy voter turnout numbers so far this morning.
I'll start in the reverse, Uday. The first thing, the healthy voter numbers, that is extremely good, and that is certainly an achievement in the valley. I mean, forget about everybody else, the panelists who may have their own thoughts and biases also. Your own person on the ground said, "Yahan patharbazi hoti thi, aaj yahan log hain." So that is an achievement that has happened there. Now, starting from there, and all in every democratic process, it is always good. Healthy voting is always good, and it will certainly be for the advantage of BJP. I'm sure of that. Coming to what Sujata was saying, BJP is going it alone. Why is BJP contesting so many? Every election now that is announced anywhere, the first response is, who will Congress tie up with? This used to be the grand old party. Now suddenly, this immediately at the drop of a hat, they're looking for a crutch. Give me a crutch, I can't stand on my own. Now that is Congress for you. Coming to, I view this very seriously. Yes, I agree with her that the way Narendra Modi and the BJP government have worked, Pakistan today is a non-entity. It is no longer, the hyphenation is no longer Indo-Pak. Now we talk about Indo-US, Indo-China. We don't talk about Indo-Pak. But for the Congress spokesperson to say that a major general of the army does not know what he's talking about, I think is hogwash. We need to give that respect to him who's given his life, devoted his entire life to this. He knows what he's talking about. And yes, the Pakistan infiltrators, the Pakistan will certainly want, because after abrogation of 370, whatever little they had in their hand, they felt has been taken away. Even the take the case of the NC. What did the NC say? जब 370 हटेगा खून की नदियां बहेंगी. I don't know कहां बही. And we will wonder which flag will be flown here, and they were the ones. And this was Rahul Gandhi's yatra where they were seen standing and saluting the national flag. It was NC who was doubtful what flag it will be. Coming to Congress, very, very interesting what the Congress is talking about, that no, the peace has not returned. The memory is still fresh in with us when Rahul and Priyanka very proudly posted their photographs of snowmobiling. So when they were so happy, now they could do it. Earlier, they couldn't enter the place. The most important point, Congress does not know what it is doing. Their manifesto is completely silent on 370 because they don't have a clue. Where do they stand? Where do they stand on the release of terrorists? Do they want terrorism coming back to J&K? Complete silence.
Sujata Paul.
Tell us today.
The fact is that it is the BJP government, even in the center, which is on crutches. And when an army man sits as a political analyst and the BJP contradicts him by saying that Pakistan is a non-entity, whereas the analyst is talking about how Pakistan is disturbing elections in Jammu Kashmir, it clearly means that he is here as an independent analyst, but is biased and biased towards the BJP. As far as terrorist attacks are concerned, the BJP spokesperson has no word to speak about it. The fact is that the Kashmiri pundits have faced targeted killings. There have been a spate of terror attacks, and the BJP has not been able to utter a word about it because that is the truth about the peace process in Jammu Kashmir. Peace will only return when Jammu Kashmir has their own government. Peace will only return when Jammu Kashmir has its own statehood, is able to address its own issues, and the country stands with them.
Yes, Rajamuni. Yes, Rajamuni.
BJP only
Yes, Rajamuni.
in polarized politics.
Rajamuni.
That's what the BJP is
Rajamuni.
expert at.
Civilly.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate to see both these parties bickering like this. But I have one question for the Congress spokesperson. Is the Congress spokesperson saying that the terrorism which we are seeing in Jammu and Kashmir, especially in Kishtwar, Jammu region, Pakistan has got nothing to do with it? Is she willing to come on record and say that Pakistan has no hand in the terrorism or the terrorists which have been perpetrating attacks in Jammu region? Are you actually saying that?
Let her answer.
Is that what I want to know?
I'm very glad that you said this, and that is exactly my point. I was talking about the BJP saying that it is not Pakistan which is important anymore, whereas the political analyst has contradicted, and you have rightly said it. Pakistan, I am saying, is a small country. How is it that we are not being able to tackle them? That is my point.
Darinder Tyal, is that correct? Sujata Paul is saying...
That is the fact.
Your people go.
I think then it's highly unfair for you to point out. I think it's highly unfair for you, ma'am, to then point out the finger at the defense analyst and say that he doesn't know what he's talking about. This is exactly what he said. That Pakistan is perpetrating.
No, and he's not. No, 1 second. Sujata, no, but Major General Sehgal. Major General Sehgal is not here. Madam, Major General Sehgal is not here as a political analyst. He's here as a defense expert. We've called him because security is an important issue in Jammu and Kashmir.
Uday, there are many political analysts, many defense analysts who sit as political analysts.
No. He's here as a defense expert, not as a political analyst. Just to clarify. Okay. Darinder Tyal is responding to you. I'll come back to you. Sujata Paul, you've had a chance to respond. Darinder Tyal also now needs to speak. I'll come back to you.
One thing, when she said Pakistan is a non-entity, why does Mani Shankar Iyer go to Pakistan and say...
I'm talking about Mani Shankar Iyer. I'm talking about the BJP. The BJP is saying that we have stopped terrorism. The fact is that in spite of the Prime Minister saying after demonetization that there will be no cross-border terrorism, it is still happening. You have not been able to control the situation in Jammu and Kashmir. That is my point. That is the fact. And as far as the defense analyst is saying, he's saying that there is peace in Jammu and Kashmir. And it is the best kind of election that is happening because Pakistan is trying to disturb it, but there is no disturbance. So he's contradicting himself.
Okay, let's come back now to the issue. Let's come back now to the other issue. Sheikh OS, you know, there are questions also being raised over why 370 became such a big issue, over why, Afzal Guru and you know what happened to him also was drawn into this political discourse. Shouldn't the election rhetoric rather focus on development, on issues that matter to the people, on employment and the lack of it? Shouldn't this have been the focus of your political party's campaign as well?
No, let me tell you one thing. I guess you have not, read our manifesto. Like, it's not just the 370. Like, we have spoken about, the unemployment rate because of the, the BJP had, when we were there in the power, I'm talking about 2014, 2013, the unemployment rate was like 12 to 15%, like, because of the BJP's failure out there in the ground, the unemployment rate has reached 45%. Like, the Modi's Naya Kashmir promise, like, 1 lakh jobs, investments, and, so many big promises. Like, we haven't seen anything out there.
Okay, allow Dhirendra Tyal to respond.
Uday, one thing, before I give my response to this, one thing, let us have a civil debate. If somebody has a problem in listening to other people, I think the person can be asked to leave. But we have to listen to each other.
Sujata Paul, let's allow Dhirendra Tyal to respond. I think he's mentioning
I never spoke in between. I only spoke when you asked me to.
Dhirendra, go ahead.
Wait, I was speaking when you spoke.
Go ahead now. Go ahead. Please make your point now.
Yeah. So, one thing which I want to bring forth today is, in fact, taking it elsewhere. I was in interior Gujarat long back. I spoke to the people. You remember Gujarat had a lot of, dangas and stuff like that. Now, speaking to the people there, even Muslims and others, everybody said, as a common man, I want peace. I want my business to flourish. That is what I'm looking at. And that is what Kashmir has got from BJP. There is peace there. Coming back to the development. I mean, talking about development is easy. Now, if NC says we're going to do with development, this is going to happen. But their first promise is we are going to release the terrorists. Is that the way peace will come to the valley? Is that the way tourism will come to the valley? Is that the way progress will happen in the valley? What are the investments happening in J&K? AIMS has come up. The other two AIMS have come up. And IIM has come up. Amritsar, Delhi, Amritsar, or Katarak or expressway is getting built. The Srinagar Metro Light, more than 5,000 crores. Jammu Metro Light, more than 5,000, about 5,000 crores. That is the Z Tunnel, the Zojila Tunnel. I mean, so much progress is happening. Now, when so much of investment is happening, how is that investment going to be taken care of? Who is going to work there? It is going to be the people who are going to work there, the people of Kashmir.
Okay. I've run out of time. I'll allow Major General Sehgal a quick last word before I slip into a break. Major General Sehgal.
I personally feel that Sujata has lost her plot. She's been contradicting herself and she's been making statements which are absolutely abhorrent. Firstly, the Indian army is absolutely and totally apolitical. 99.9% of us say out what is absolutely required to be said without any bias whatsoever. Her saying that I could be inspired by BJP is absolute nonsense of the ultimate variety. And I totally denounce that statement of us.
I'm glad to hear that. But the fact is, when you contradict yourself by saying that there is peace in the valley, but the BJP is doing a great job and Pakistan is disturbing, you have been contradicting by the BJP. That's the fact.
Okay. You made your points now. You made that point earlier. We have to slip into a very short break. What is, of course, good to see is the steady turnout of voters, and we'll keep going across to get you more voices from on ground in Jammu and Kashmir as we continue this special coverage. Taking a very quick break. My thanks to our guests for joining us. After the break, another very special guest is joining us right here on Newsx.